It's the number one. Number one. Yes, the number one. Oh, yes. The number one. It's the number one.
Good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, and every one of you listening in Radio Land. I am CJ, and this is Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. We are broadcasting from Main Street Cities in historic and beautiful St. Patrick. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
On top of the wall as
Looking up.
normal.
Go ahead,
Relevant.
please.
Father, once again, we recognize that this is the day that you has made. And as a result of the day that you has made, we promise that we will rejoice and we will be glad in that day. We thank you, God, for the night. We thank you, God, for permitting our life to see yet another day, which we are grateful for. There are many that did not make it. We are in sympathy with them, O God. But we thank you, O God, for the favors on our life, for keeping us healthy, O God, and to permit our life to see the rising of the sun and the going down, Lord. We hope it will be the same. Father, I bring this morning, O God, the agriculture program before you, O God. We ask you, God, to touch the lives of our farmers. We ask you, God, to give them strength that they may work. As many of them already left their home, O God, to climb the hills or to go to the plains, to cross the rivers, Lord, to cross the streams, to climb the mountain, that they can be able to work, O God, with their hands hard to sustain our population. We ask you, God, to protect our farmers as they go from harm and danger. Every piece of tools that they may use to work, we ask you, God, to guide their hands and protect them from all harm and danger. And as they leave to go, we ask you, God, to bless the family that are left behind, oh God, the wives, the children that have to go to school. We ask you, God, to protect them, oh God. Father, we even bring our fishermen before you this morning. They are even part of agriculture. We ask you, God, as they go for the catch, early morning catch, we ask you, God, to let the boat function well. We ask you, God, to give them big catch, oh God, that they can come back and sell, oh God, to our citizens, that they themselves, while they feed us, they themselves could feed themselves and make a money for themselves. We ask you, God, to guide them on the sea. Father, all those that will be putting a hand in the soil this morning where agriculture is concerned, I'm asking God to bless their heart. Father, we bring Real FM before you, God. That is the entity that's responsible for the agriculture program. Let every piece of instrument upon that station function well, and let no weapon that form against that station prosper, O God. I bring all the individuals, oh God, that participate in that program, oh God, on a Thursday morning, especially BJ, who has a wealth of experience in agriculture, and all the rest who is a part of that program this morning. We ask you, God, to grant them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Bring everything back to the memory, oh God, as they conduct this program. I bring all the listeners before you, God. We ask you, God, to give them knowledge to grasp many of the things that have been said about agriculture. We bring our commuters before you as they leave from one zone to go to another. We ask you, God, to watch over them. We bring Mr. Andrew Donald, wheresoever he may be this morning, to touch that sun. We ask you, God, from the crown of his head and the sole of his feet. We ask you, God, to watch over him. We bring Claire before you, God, CJ. We ask you, God, to bless her, oh God. She's doing a very fine job. We ask you, God, to watch over all the staff as they take full control of the operation of that program. We ask you, God, to bless every heart in Jesus' name, and we commend the agriculture program before you once again In Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Amen.
Good morning, CJ.
Good morning, and how are you?
I'm sorry for saying CJ.
No, it is CJ. My name is
Yeah, well,
Coriandina.
CJ, but let me go back. Good morning, coffee in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
coffee in the morning. Now you have it.
Yes, coffee in the morning. Man, CJ is not for me, man.
I
Coffee in the
know
morning.
coffee in the morning. I hear you.
The slip of the tongue is not the fault of the mind.
I
So
hear
it's all
you.
right,
That's
right?
okay.
So you have a blessed day.
You
Stay
too.
blessed. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Nice.
Bye-bye.
Great.
All
Nice.
right,
Bye.
bye. And there we have it. Prayer by my coffee in the morning. So let's go back to DC Ranks, and he's saying everybody's into computer.
Culture is the number one. Number one. Yes, the number one. Oh, yes. The number one. It's the number one. Why you did on agriculture? I'm talking to the youths of this nation and those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Welcome here to the revolution. Agriculture was on top. Man chat it and didn't do it bad. After that, you know the whole thing flap. Why? Everybody want to sit down in computer. And they
Don't you feel like singing when this is playing? Sit down in computer.
and they forget agriculture.
Oh yeah.
Everybody want to sit down in computer.
Let me say good morning to Claude Abraham, Alban Harris, Christine Otley, Miriam, Kathleen Halley Douglas, Lenora George Buckmeyer, Lindona George. Good morning, Marlon Klein. Good morning to Andrew Donald, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Good morning to Drumsticks, I'm waiting for you. Kenro, good morning. Miss Job, Miss Matheson, Miss Mitchell in the Bush area. Keith Sylvan, good morning. McSween Belfon, good morning. The Date family, Lorna Bain, and everyone that is listening to Real FM at this moment. It is Agriculture Thursday. BJ is going to be here with me this morning. And we'll talk some things about the farmers, the plants, and what we can do to survive in this world that we're living in, because it is getting more and more desperate. With the wars that are going on around the world, food shortages, we have to do better. We have to start looking after ourselves. Good morning, Tamika Moses.
Yeah, oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. Yeah, and they forget agriculture.
Pat Cape James, good morning. Hope all is well on the island. Good morning, Jill Williams. Pat Pear, over there in Parklet, good morning to you also.
Everybody want to sit down in computer. Tell you just know, my brother, all you read them computers.
And Ann Jackson, you're so correct. Grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Now is the best time to start. If you haven't started planting anything, get your little flower pots and start putting things in there, because let me tell you, we are going to go through a tough time.
Agriculture is number one. The soil is so rich and pure, but the youths cannot understand. Well, at the education you have, man, say can't ignore the soil. Everybody want to work in apples, and I know the reason why. Yes, man, everybody want to sit down in computer. And they forget agriculture.
Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings, and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk-behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard industry and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, strength which speaks for itself, a case which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Yes.
And I think I have drumsticks online. Good morning to you, drumsticks.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Good morning to the nation. A reading from the Word of God, 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that made us, and not ourselves. We are the people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endure to all generations. This is the end of the scripture reading.
Thank you so much, and have yourself a great day.
You have a wonderful
How is
day.
Olive and everybody else?
Everybody all right?
Give my regards, please.
I will.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
And they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. And they forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. Tell you just now, my brothers, all you know is them computers. We used to ship 20 hectares all the way down to Trinidad.
Let me say good morning to Velma at Velma Restaurant and Bar. This morning, breakfast is coconut bakes, stewed turkey, fish, ground provision, local herbal tea to go with that. For lunch, we have chicken and veggie roti, chicken soup, fish waters, and with that, local juices. So it's a lot of fluid for you today. And for dinner, we always have burgers and fries. Again, breakfast, coconut bakes, stewed turkey, fish, ground provision. Local herbal tea accompanies that. And for lunch, we have chicken and veggie roti, chicken soup, and fish waters. Local juices, and dinner, burgers and fries. So if you're in the mood for any of that today, check out Velma's Restaurant and Bar.
All you read them computers.
Top of the morning to you, Gemma Warwood, Walland Aquat. Am I pronouncing your name properly? I hope I do. Errol Bonaparte, good morning. Paul Charles, good morning to you. And everyone is saying good morning to each other and to all the listeners of Real FM. We do appreciate you coming in every morning and saying good morning and checking out one another who is online. Keep it at. Keep at it, keep at it. We are really appreciative.
Stand where are the education you have mistake and ignore the style. Everybody want.
Theresa Joseph, good morning. You're listening from Toronto. Which part of Toronto are you living at, Theresa? I have a little fair idea of where in Toronto neighborhoods are, so tell me where you are.
To sit down in computer and they forget agriculture. To sit down in computer.
Little England, you asked for a store that speaks the quality and we gave you. Now, you have started asking for brands and we have brought them in for you. Little England has all the brands you're looking for. Washing machines. We have Hoover, Indesit, Beko, and Candy at the best possible prices. Deep freezers, fridge freezers, all sporting the Sharp and Hoover brand. Microwaves of top quality, Panasonic and Kenwood. We stock the best in smart TVs, JVC, Sharp, and Panasonic. Now listen, with electric and top stove kettles, steam and non-steam irons, toasters, Bluetooth speakers, phone charger and cables, including wireless chargers, top brand name in blenders, solar lights for both inside and out. The only appliance we do not stock is a transformer, because all our appliances are for the authentic power source 220 volts. So check us out at Little England. We aren't so small after all. Little England, located Main Street, Satires. Call us on 458-4111. That number again, 458-4111.
Your new Grenlec bill is even easier to read and still has all the valuable information you need to track and manage your usage.
Hey Mom, okay, your friendly tech support is here. So you got the new Grenlec bill? Let's take a look. The new bill makes it even easier to see your bill total, the due date, and much more. And take a closer look. It actually is a lot easier to understand. Let me show you. You can still see exactly what the charges are for, but in a great new format, it even shows how the cost of generating and delivering the electricity to you is calculated using your actual usage. And Mom,
Hungry, anyone? You heard about it, and it's finally here. Velma's Restaurant and Bar, located High Street, Satires in St. Patrick. They're open from 6 a.m. until midnight. Breakfast is available from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. On the menu is roast bake, sawfish, and many, many mouth-watering items. Lunch is a close second, with items that can be grilled to your satisfaction. We have steamed fish and other seafoods too. For the health-conscious ones, we provide vegan and vegetarian dishes. Looking for something that will hit the spot? From 5 p.m. until close, come and enjoy our burgers and fries. At Velma's, we cater and host parties. We have an on-site bakery where you can place your orders for fruitcakes and other pastries. We also have local juices. Listen to Real FM for your daily menu to place your order in advance. Call us at 419-5622. That number again, 419-5622. Velma's Restaurant and Bar. Come eat lunch with us.
Grenada, as we celebrate 50 years of independence. Made in Grenada presents the celebration of 50 years of Calypso. One stage. One show. Grenada's best Calypsonians performing Grenada's greatest hits. Sunday, February 11, 2024 at 6 p.m. sharp. Grenada National Stadium. More information coming soon.
Yes. Culture is the number one.
It is 18 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. I'm going to head to the Maurice Bishop International Airport to see what we have in store with the weather today.
The number one. It's the number one. Why you did on agriculture? I'm talking to the youths of this nation and those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Welcome here. The revolution, agriculture was on top. Man, Jack Britain didn't do it bad. After that, you know the whole thing flap by. Everybody wants.
And this morning we have Andrea Charles from the Morris Bishop International Airport. Good morning to you, Andrea, and how are you?
I'm fine, and good morning to you and to listeners of General Public. And here's weather for today, Thursday, the 12th October, 2023. Currently, it's PM. Winds are from the east at 7 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 11.5 millibars. That's below normal and rising. Present temperature, 28.8 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity, 81%. Yesterday's maximum temperature, 31.8 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum, 27 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 0.1 millimeter of rainfall was recorded, which brings the total for the month to 20.7 millimeters. Now to have a look at the forecast, value for today and tonight. Today we expect some generally fair conditions, becoming partly cloudy at times. Maximum temperature, 31.8 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Tides below at 9:15 a.m. and high at 3 p.m. Sunsets today at 5:15, rises tomorrow at 5:56. Just a repeat of the forecast, value for today and tonight. Generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times. Maximum temperature, 31.8 degrees Celsius. I'm Andrea Charles. We work for the Met Office. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea, and have yourself a great day.
Thanks, same to you.
You bye-bye. And there we have it. It's going to be a scorcher again today. It's like we're living in the desert. It is pure heat. But for those of us who do not like to sweat, I have to say sorry. We are bathing ourselves with whether we have water or not because it is really, really, really hot. But it is Thursday, Agriculture Thursday. BJ should be here with me shortly. But let me say good morning to the rest of the folks who are on the live that I didn't get to say good morning to. Michelle Alexander, good morning. Charles Carrot, Jerome Lewis, Baby Daddy, good morning. Let me also say good morning to Mona. She's always listening, and I know she's listening today. Good morning to Ann Andrews. You are not on the live as yet, but I know you are listening. And to all of you who listen and do not participate in the live or you call, we know that you are there. Thank you so much.
And never get agriculture.
Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk-behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
It is said the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard industry and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, strength which speaks for itself, a taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your talent. Savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Yes, culture is the number one. Number one. Yes, the number one. Oh, yes, the number one. It's the number one. I youth is on agriculture. I'm talking to the youths of this nation. And those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Welcome here to the
I think I have a call. Let's see. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mona. How are you?
I hear you say I'm listening, you know, if the air cap.
Mona.
Yes.
Mona, why do you have to give me so much trouble? I'm only being nice to you, you know.
And nice to you too.
Well, I know, but you give me a hard time and tell me if I know you as cock. I know you as in cock. But
Just
listen,
a
you
good morning.
just another here with me this morning.
I know he is not there,
Oh, okay.
whatsoever he is.
Okay.
Mr. Donald, good morning. And to the pastor that premised, Pastor Louis.
Yes.
Good morning to you. Thank you for your blessings. And BJ.
How are you? How are you feeling this morning?
I wrap with my bath towel already.
Oh, you come from the shower?
No, I go in.
Oh, you're going?
Yes.
Okay. Let me tell you, the water is a bit cooler these days, you know.
No, let me tell you something. More cold water is I feel better.
Well, yeah, you're refreshing, you're opening up your pores and then you're closing back your pores and everything like that.
Yes.
You're doing the right thing. You're on the right track.
But people does tell me you're going in the bathroom too early, you just want water and all this kind of thing.
That ain't doing nothing.
I don't know that. Our custom with the river water. And, well, now you have the pipe. But in this gone by, every morning, all children they in river bathing.
Of course.
To go to school. Now they have bathroom and toilet inside. But give me cold water.
Yeah, it refreshes you. It wakes you up, really.
I love the cold water.
Well, let me tell you, when I have to take the cold water and it's that cold, I wash my face and then I let water drip on my chest, go down, and then I sprinkle and so, and then I soap out and I'm telling you, and then I go under. And after that, I'm good to go.
The best thing.
Tell me.
Soap out the rag.
I do that.
And start soaping out. Don't sprinkle the water on it.
Well, no, I like to sprinkle. I have to test it first.
No, soap out the rag and start soaping out. And you get in the zeal now.
Yes, yes.
And everything under control.
And once you get under there, you don't want to come off.
No.
I know the drill. So have yourself a great day and I'll talk to you soon.
And plant enough for me and you.
I will.
And I have to give BJ a big chat.
You have to? Well, he's coming in soon.
I don't know. What is agriculture?
It is agriculture, yes.
Yes. But I don't planting.
Well, have people around your plan then. And BJ plans, so if you talk to him, he'll fix you.
Well, that I want.
Okay, well, when he comes, call. You'll know when he comes in. If you're listening, you'll hear his voice.
The air's car.
Bye, Mona.
Bye-bye.
Everybody want to sit down in computer and never forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer.
I am back to say good morning to Lennox. I already said good morning to Maxwell Belfon. He was on WhatsApp. Let me say good morning to Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, Joycelyn Francois, Louisa Williams, Evan John Roberts. And let me say good morning to Mayana from Liver, a.k.a. Mimi. I remember to say good morning to you this morning. We met yesterday. Thank you always for listening. You know, Jester comes in on Saturday and he says, don't touch that dial. It might be hot. Well, I think it's hot for a lot of people because no one is touching the dial. They listen to Real FM from Sunday to Sunday. And we really, really appreciate that. Let me say good morning to the Robinson family out there on Hill Street. Clarice, good morning. Good morning to the Glean family, the Callis family, and everyone that listens to whatever program you listen to on Real FM.
Oh, yes. Number one. Number one. Number one. Yes, the number one. Agriculture. Number one. Number one. Number one.
Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings, and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard industry and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, strength which speaks for itself, a taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Yes. Culture is the number one. Number one.
Good morning, Bernard Charles. Thank you for checking in. Even John Roberts, good morning. I'm waiting for your uncle here. Good morning. I was looking at something this morning, and seems as though women are going big on agriculture. I was looking at farming in Atlanta, Georgia. There are 2 young women. One name is Jasmine, the other is Jamila. And Jamila has a farm, 1.4 acres of land. And she's planting the Jamaican callaloo, lettuce, you name it, she has it. They're supported by a company called Kroger Foods. Jasmine, I'm not sure, she's not a farmer, but she takes food to people in different places on a mobile truck. When you look at it, it's like a grocery store. On one side, you have the freezer, the veggie stands where it's cool. On the other side, you have things like vinegar and chips and all that. So it's like a mini store, but it is on wheels. And I have to say kudos to the women out there who are taking farming seriously these days because, as I said before, it is getting tougher and tougher to live. So all the little buckets that you have and you normally throw them away, start putting soil and start planting different things. You can plant your green onions, you call it, green onions, scallion, the same thing. You can plant chives and thyme. You can plant lettuce, peppers, anything at all. You don't have to have a big plot of land to do it because survival of the fittest is what we are doing right now. So when she talked about desert people, and I'm like, what is desert people? So desert people are the people that live far away from where they can get all the fresh veggies, and so because they're living, let's say they live in rural. So they take, Jasmine especially takes the mobile truck to these places to feed the elderly, especially because, they can't move around as they want to. And it is free. She delivers the food to them free because of the company that supports them with Kroger Food, supports both Jasmine and Jamila. So they take the food to them because she said there is so much wastage. And it's not a joke. We waste food more than we should. And we have to wake up right now and start just cooking what you know you're going to eat and not throw away. Because there are so many people in this world that are starving for no reason whatsoever. We have enough food in this world to feed every man, woman, and child. But because we do not, we do not plan properly, or we let greed take over our souls, and we just throw food away. And it is sad to see sometimes the amount of food that goes into the garbage, and there are people on the street that could do with it. And I know there's a reason why some restaurants and grocery stores throw away food, but we must find some other way to deliver it to people that really need it. They throw it away because if they were to take the food and give it to me, let's say I'm on the street and I'm hungry and they give me the food, something happened to me, like I get a severe illness from it, my family is going to go after that set of people. Lawsuit is in place and we cannot defend ourselves because yes, we give them the food. But once they throw it in the garbage, if you go and take it in the garbage, that's on you. But it's so inhumane, I think, to watch people dig in the garbage for food when there's so much food around. And we have wars going on. We have the war with Ukraine and Russia. Now we have Hamas and Israel. We have fires all over the place. We have floods all over the place. The whole world is out of balance. So I'm saying to each and every one of us, start planting things that we know we could eat, things that we like. We go to the grocery store and we buy food. Half of it ends up in the garbage because we don't use them fast enough. We have to learn to preserve food right now. So if you're buying things like peppers, I like bell peppers. So when I buy bell peppers, I don't just put them in the fridge and just leave it alone like that. Because once they are wet or they have moisture on it, they rot quickly. So when you buy it at the grocery store, say you go to Real Value and you buy peppers, because let me tell you, $16.50 for a pound of pepper, you pay too much money to have it spoiled like that. You take it out of the bag when you come from Real Value. Do not wash it because you're trying to get water. Take a piece of paper towel and dry it. Make sure it's dried. You place it in a Ziploc bag and you seal it. And you put it in the coldest part of your refrigerator. It will last for 2-3 weeks without rotting. But if you leave it in just the bag that you buy it in and you just put it in the freezer, in a week or so, you will start seeing it going bad. We are spending too much money on food to have to throw it in the garbage. Too much. So it is a wake-up call for each and every one of us to start looking at food differently. Start buying things that you know you will use in a week so you won't have any spoilage. And if you're cooking, yes, we all cook. We cook too much food every day. And if you're going to cook it, make sure you have it stored in the freezer or the fridge that you could use it later on, instead of having to, you leave it there and 2 days afterwards, you have to throw it out in the garbage. It really and truly doesn't make sense. If you don't care about the amount of money that you spend for food, then so be it. But everyone is crying out these days and saying how things are expensive when you go to the grocery store. So start planning differently for your food, your groceries, and start planting a little more. Lettuce can be ready in 4 to 6 weeks. Peppers in about 3 months, I think, when I plant my pepper at the back there. Yes. You have bok choy. They do not take that very long to grow. They're food that can grow. You have the 6-week cycle food. So look for these kinds of plants and plant it so you can always have this. And don't wait till you finish. You rip it all and then there's nothing. Always when you move one or so, plant more so that you always have a supply. Because right now, tomatoes is scarce as gold, as they say. We cannot get tomatoes. And when you get it, if you get it, it's $9 a pound. And you could plant your tomato. One tomato tree giving you a lot of tomatoes. You can candy tomatoes. You can, and an easy way for you to do it, you blanch it in hot water. You put it in a bottle with, well, make sure your water is boiled water. You put it in a bottle with water that's boiled. You can add a little bit of salt, or you can add a little bit of vinegar, and you store that there in a, what do you call those bottle again? Mason jars. Or if you have pasta, you buy pasta and you have the bottles, or any bottles that have a tight lid, put it in there and you have your tomato there. Or you can just dice it, do the same thing. You can do that with cucumbers also. You can do that with so much food. And then you have it there for when you need it, instead of having to throw it away. It breaks my heart to see the amount of food that we waste. And there's so many people out there that do not have any food at all on a daily basis. So let's do differently.
We used to ship 20 hectares all the way down to Trinidad during the revolution. We used to use up all the food that we had. When we could do nutmeg and banana was at the highest level. Now the youth them don't want to take over from the elders and continue. That's why everybody want to sit down in computer and never get agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down.
Lona Bain, good morning to you. How cold is Toronto today? Teresa Joseph, I know the area of Keele and Wilson, so you're living close to the heights. Thank you for letting me know that and keep listening.
Never get agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. Tell you just know, my brother, all you read them computers. All over the world you go, agriculture is number one. The soil is so rich and pure, but the youths cannot understand. Well, at the education you have, man, still can't ignore the soil. Everybody want to work in apples, and I know the reason why. Yes, man, everybody want to see.
Let's groove into this ranks here. I'm dancing and I'm singing. I hope everyone else is doing, because this is such a great tune.
Sit down in computer and forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer and forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. Tell you just know, my brother, all you read them computers. Oh yes. All right. Agriculture. Number one. Number one. Number one.
And back to how you can save some of your other foods. You know, brown paper bags that we used to have before we start using plastic bags? Eggplants love brown paper bags. Mushrooms love brown paper bags. So when you buy your eggplant and so, store them in brown paper bags. You can just poke little holes in them just to give them a little air. But they last when you put them in brown paper bags. And you know, when we buy the green onions, I call it green onions, you call it Saivan thyme, the kind of thing, the long green thing that we buy. For you to, if you want to keep it, because you know, it rots really easy too. This is another thing that rots easy. So when you buy it, you wash it, you really wash it, remove the dirt and so that's from the white thing. Again, you can use the white stub of it to plant, and you cut off the green bits of it. You dry it, like you shake it out, take all the excess water. You can cut it up and add just a little bit of oil, olive oil or so. Put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in your freezer. It keeps the flavor and it won't spoil. You put it in the freezer, so when you're cooking, you just take a handful or any amount you want, you put it in your pot or you put it in your eggs when you're making omelette and stuff, and it's yum in my tongue. Nothing goes wrong with it. If you leave it in the fridge, 2 or 3 days, you're starting to see they look brown and they look limp. So just wash it, cut out the white part of it, put it in a glass of water and watch it grow. You can take it and transplant it into your flower pot, or if you have a piece of soil behind your house or you dig, just flower pot. Let's go with flower pot, and you put it in there. And in a few days or a few weeks, you have a new set of green onions. You can do that. You can grow your own. But if you cut it up in small bits and you put just a little bit of oil in, because the oil stops it from getting that clogging together, and you put it in the freezer, and when you're cooking, just take some, put it in your food, in your whatever, chicken, beef, soup, whatever, and you're good to go. So use brown paper bag for your eggplant, your mushrooms, and other vegetables, because once it's the moisture that causes your food to go bad. So once they do not get that amount of moisture, they last for a long time. You might say, well, where I get to know that? Because I do that. That's why I save my food, because I hate throwing things. When I pay $16.50 for one pepper, it grieves me to have to throw half of it. So you learn to use all of these things to save your veggies, especially. Brown paper bags, Ziploc bags, like you seal all the air out of it, and you're good to go.
My youth is on agriculture. I'm talking to the youths of this nation and those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Welcome here to the revolution. Agriculture was on top.
The National Lotteries Authority is a proud sponsor of many cultural activities within the tri-island state of Grenada.
My name is Anderson Matterson, also known as Leftist, and I'm a Calypsonian and string band music player from Carriacou. I support the games of the National Lottery Authority because culture benefits tremendously. Annually, the NLA supports the Carriacou and Petit Martinique Carnival, the Carriacou String Band Music Festival, and all regattas, among other activities. When I play the game of the NLA, I can see where my money goes, and it's an investment into our culture.
Yes, Grenada, when you play the games of the NLA, you enable us to invest in the skills and talents of our people in the areas of sports, culture, and nation building.
Join us, Grenada, as we continue to promote a legacy of excellence through the Pure Grenada Excellence Champion Training Program. Over 1,000 Grenadians have been trained. Food, transportation service industries, and other frontline workers, you don't want to miss out on this one. Training sessions will resume on mainland Grenada October 9th to 13th and 23rd to 27th, and November 6th to 10th and 20th to the 24th. Learn more at www.puregrenada.com/excellence champion or call GTA head office at 440-2001. Remember, excellence begins with me. Excellence ends with all our we.
Why Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pocket every month. Plus, now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Join the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives for the observance of World Food Day celebrations October 16th to 20th, 2023 under the theme Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. Monday, October 16th, the minister's address to the nation and panel discussion dissecting the issue of water management and sustainability. Tuesday, Eating Water campaign with the distribution of water-based foods at strategic locations throughout Grenada. Wednesday and Thursday, virtual engagement on water management and the blue economy. The town of Grenville will then come alive on Friday, October 20th. Official ceremony, grand exhibition, and culture show. World Food Day celebrations 2023, embracing all in the sustainable management of our water resources, celebrating our farmers, vendors, agro-processors, and value chain partners. World Food Day celebrations October 16th to the 20th, 2023.
Yes. Culture is the number one. The number one. Yes, the number one. Oh yes, the number one. It's the number one. My youth is on agriculture. I'm talking to the youths of this nation and those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Welcome to the revolution. Agriculture was on top. Man just began didn't do it bad. After that, you know the old thing flap by. Everybody want to sit down in computer. And they forget.
Good morning to you, BJ. How are you?
Morning, Claire. Morning to the listening public. I am fine, warm and easy.
That's your mantra.
Warm and easy
Warm
as
and
always.
Don't you want to dance when you hear DC singing?
Oh, this is a really nice song.
Oh, and I've been dancing and singing like crazy.
It is. And it, what? How old is the song? Quite a long while the song is there, and it seems to be fresh every time you hear it.
Yeah, it's just like Bob Marley songs. When you hear them, it's like they're timeless. That's a timeless song, and you know.
It's a meaningful song.
It is.
With a whole impact, whole impact.
Yes, yes, yes. So what's up with you?
What's up with me, Claire?
I'm asking.
I'm at your service.
Oh, you're at my service. Okay, well, let's have.
Let's go.
So I was talking this morning, blah, blah, by myself here. And I was telling folks out there that how we waste so much food. I don't know if you were listening while you were coming along. How we waste so much food and we throw so much food, and there's so many people in this world that are starving. But with that being said, we are in a pinch in our lives right now where we really have to pay attention to what we are doing when it comes to food. We have to start planting. If you haven't started it, we have to start, because even if it's in a flower pot, because with all these wars that are going on around us and they're saying it's going to impact the economy, we have to do something.
Yes, Claire. I think when it comes to the wasting of food, we are very wasteful. A lot of things that we can utilize, we discard it. In relation to the planting of food, one cannot overemphasize that. It's not just the economic benefit that you could gain from planting of food in terms of monetary gains, but the fact that you know what you're eating makes a whole heap of difference. Some of the things that you think you are eating just garbage.
In more ways than one.
Well, yeah, sometimes you're eating tomatoes and it It really don't want to be called a tomato.
Sure.
But sometimes that's what is available. And if you grow your own stuff, in a lot of cases, you know what you give your stuff, you know what you are eating.
Quite true. And tomatoes is on the scarce side of the globe these days, right here. And when you see it, it's $9 a pound, which I refuse to buy.
Quite expensive.
Very much so. I mean, yes, I love tomato in my salad and everything. Tomato is really good for you, for me, for you. It has lycopene in it, which is really good for men and prostate. So it is something good, but my gosh, because it's not plentiful on the market, you don't have to kill us.
Demand and supply. It's a natural law, economics. If you have a country and you just have a few cars, those cars will be selling very, very expensive.
Yeah, I know, but does it make sense though? Because I always look at it. When there is a crisis, when people should be helping you out, they kill you. I remember years ago, there was a blackout in Toronto years ago. And water that was $1 just before the blackout happened. We were walking home. It was summer. And it was $3 for a bottle of water.
People capitalize on different things, market forces.
But is that what my question is? Is that right? Is that
Well, a lot of things
humane?
a lot of things shouldn't be done morally, but a lot of business people don't think in terms of morality. They think in terms of dollars and cents. That's the order of the day.
Maybe I'm naive.
No, you're not naive.
But I'm thinking, is money everything? The be all and the end all of everything?
That's what our society has become. Money is just the order of the day, so we forget humanity. We forget the sustainable goals that's set out by the United Nations, that you leave no one behind, and you try to alleviate poverty, and you create opportunities. We forget all of those things in them.
It is pretty sad though. It's really, really, really sad, because if there's a crisis and people are already in turmoil, and then you have something that they need, and you sell it so expensive that they still have to do without it and going through what they're going through.
Get rich fast syndrome. You want to get rich in 1 year, and if you see the opportunity, you don't matter who dead.
Yeah, get rich fast.
Yeah.
But there are rich people that still cannot enjoy their food.
That's true.
Even though they have all the money in the world, they suffer the worst of indigestion. They cannot digest their food. They cannot do anything, and they have the money watching them.
They don't even sleep comfortably at night.
Oh, how could you?
Exactly.
Especially when you rob people to get where you are.
That's what happens.
BJ,
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that I looked at two women this morning. One is in New York, and the other Atlanta, Georgia. She was born in New York, but she moved to Atlanta. Her parents are from Jamaica and Trinidad. She has a farm, 1.4 acres of land. She started with one acre, and then she said adjacent to her, she got that set of land, and she's planting the Jamaican callaloo, she calls it, in different shades. They come in the reds, the green, lettuce, peppers, everything that you think that a farm could have, she has it. And she said she started off because her parents used to always say, we need to plant this, and everybody has their own little kitchen garden. So she made her big kitchen garden. Mm-hmm. And when you look at her, she's just a humble person. And she says, she does it because there's so many people out there that are starving. And she plants it and she grows it, and she doesn't sell it at exorbitant price. Because she knows there are a lot of people out there that do not have the amount of money. She talked about people that was in the army, and people that are on food stamps, and they get $11 a month to survive, and $16 a month to survive. And what can you do with that? So that has encouraged her to plant what she's planted so that people can get something to survive. And the other one, both of them are supported by a company called Kroger Foods. The other one that lives in New York, she has a mobile store. but she goes to the elderly people, and she call them living in desert, on a desert island or something like that. But it's not that they're not living on a desert really, but it's the place where they live. They cannot come to town to get the fresh vegetables, and so she takes it to them on that mobile thing. And I thought that was really, really good, because there are so many people out there, as I said, that are starving or suffering from lack of healthy food. I'm talking to you because you are the farmer. I'm the farmers.
It happens, and all kudos to those people, because farming is not just doing an essential job for money. It's beyond that. There is a social aspect of it, whereby you know that you're providing nutrients for people. You're giving them something nutritious to eat. You're sustaining life, so to speak, and you're sustaining quality life. You know, Claire, that if we concentrate on seriously eating what we grow and growing a lot of local foods, that will reduce our health bill.
Yes.
National health bill.
Yes.
And we were what? I think we were using 8% of our GDP to spend on health. And I think double figures when it comes to the national budget. So we can reduce that by ensuring that our farmers grow the right stuff and our people eat what we grow. We make it affordable. This is one way of keeping a healthy population. Your country going to be more productive, socially, economically too, because less money is being spent on health bills, so you can utilize those money in the productive sector.
You spoke about eating the right food or what's the right food for you?
Healthy, local food are the right foods. Different people with different health conditions may require different kinds. It's you to determine, what you should be eating. The point I'm making is that normally when we have a local food, it's much tastier and much healthier. For example, imported chicken and locally grown chicken taste differently.
Yes.
Yes, you may cost more to grow it. When you think about the health benefit, it cannot compensate.
Yeah, you're right about that. You see, I think too, we have moved away from eating our local, I call it fig and blogger now. Not no green banana and stuff. Green banana and so is what we get in North America, and so we moved away from eating all of that. They have lots of iron and potassium and all this stuff that is good for us. But we migrate from there and we're eating the pasta and all this stuff that is.
It's a culture. And they created it. They did it a long time ago. They instilled that in our minds with the bombardment on the art and all of those things, and them the news media, the social media, they ensure that they have a whole network to contaminate the brain. So all we're seeing is that Claire, look up on your face, man. You have eyes, you have nose, you have mouth, all centered wrongly,
Yes.
If they play with your eyes too much, your mouth gonna feel like tasting it. If you smell it so much, you're gonna feel like eating it. They play wrong with those senses.
But how come people like you and I don't fall for it though?
The time we're born.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, the generation we find ourselves under. There is a young generation. They sort of that's the generation after us. They tend to live fast and die young, and that's okay.
Okay. But Vijay, the generation that we grew up in, we have children, yeah? And I'm sure that your children are eating a bit different than what the younger generation is. And they are after us.
It depends on how you grow them up, you see.
Thank you very much.
And there's a lot of auxiliary factors, because people used to spend time with the kids before. There wasn't so many bills that you had to be paying, and
and
the increase in other bills, people cook and all of those things. Now people have to forget cooking and go and fend for the children and to pay the bills and leave in the morning and come back late night and all of those. So there are a lot of factors that would add to the way people live now. But the point I'm making is that there are some fundamentals that you need to keep and maintain,
Mhm.
or else you're going to lose the base of your country, you're going to lose the root of your country. And this is what I find happening. We're forgetting our roots, and we shouldn't.
Let me tell you, when you are abroad and you're thinking about going home, coming home, the only thing that is on your mind, well, me personally, is coming home and eat all the fresh food that I could find, from the sea to my pot, from the tree to my pot, you know. But and the thing is, even though we try to buy it over there, it is not as, because let's take avocado. I love avocados. Here we call it. You get those little things like my little feast here. They came green. They can't ripe. You know, and when you open it, it's like you can't eat it. So when you come and you get that fresh one, like you're in heaven, you're eating avocado like crazy, you're eating everything fresh. And then you look at it. And the people that are living here, not even thinking about, okay, I have all these fresh things here, let me eat it. They line up at Kentucky, the line long as from by the market, by the car park, to Kentucky and Subway and all those places. And I have nothing against you, eat what you want. But if you're thinking about the health factor for yourself, you have to make the change.
Claire, think about it biblically.
Okay.
And I'm speaking historically from God know when.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Adam and Eve did not appreciate Eden. I'm sure about it, and they had everything inside of it.
Until they left.
No, and the one thing you tell them don't eat, that's human being. The one thing you say don't eat, that's what they're going to eat. They like experimenting when it comes to food. Think about you never taste something before, and your brain is telling you, you know something, I want to feel like what it tastes like. And you put it in your mouth. And that's maybe the start of things. Sometimes you just can't take it out. Food can be addictive, you know.
I know. Things, you know, but I always look at it, BJ, you have to be disciplined in your life. I'm sure you don't just go around and just eat anything you see because it's food.
Well, I think about it in a different aspect. I think about it, you know, something, you need to prolong your life, you need to sustain your life, and eat for sustainability.
And
not
your
just
health.
for likeness, not just for likeness.
I like cake. Really and truly, I do like cake. I don't drink alcohol, but when I eat alcohol when I make it, you understand? And you know, I could sit and eat a whole black cake if I want to. But I know the health benefit of doing that. So I'll have a slice and I'll walk away from it. Discipline has made me known that I shouldn't be eating 5 and 6 slices of the cake that I make.
Well, not everything you like, you have to indulge in it.
Very much so. So, you know, we have to learn to be disciplined and with the food and everything. And you hearing countries and countries after countries are saying that the people are getting obese. We have a lot of food in the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
With all the people that are starving, we still have a lot of food in the world to feed every man, woman, and child.
Enough wealth too.
Yes.
It's the distribution that is the problem.
So, how can we overcome that?
Humanity have to understand that life is a bigger aspect, and you're not going back in your grave with anything. You just give man an opportunity to see this world. And yes, you need to acquire and you need to live quite happily. But at the same time, you have to understand that if the man next door is not living happily because the world is interrelated and, you know, interconnected, his life going to affect you one way or another. But humanity doesn't really realize that they fence themselves up and they think they are in isolation and they get bigger than life. Only to realize that you go in a box and they put you under the ground and it's the same depth, you go in 6 feet.
Like me.
And, you know, that's the end of that.
Yes. And that's, I keep saying that every day, you know. You look at some people that are really rich, and I have nothing against people that are rich, you know, because I don't know how they get their riches.
That's
some of us work for it legitimately, others, but they have their rich. But when you really look at it, you go to the grocery store and you're in the parking lot, the same parking lot that they're in.
Everybody uses.
Same parking lot. They go to the same stores that you go to. Yes, they may They may be able to buy filet mignon, and I may just have to buy chicken. But we are in the same grocery store, so nothing really changes when it comes to where we go and what we do. We
That's
have
so
to do
true.
groceries, we have to bathe, we have to do all these kinds of things. Same people, you just have a little more money than I do, but we go down 6 feet deep.
Money don't make you happy, you know. It just paved the way to make you happy. It don't really actually make you happy.
People don't understand that though.
It maybe paved the way to make you a little happier, but it don't. You ever think about that, Claire? That you leave your legacy behind. What? Work hard, 500 million, $500 million, and you live miserable throughout your life or not. You don't help nobody, you don't bother with anything, you don't care about humanity, and it's all about self. This is what you want to leave behind. You want to leave that you take $150 from the poor and ordinary and vulnerable people as part of your legacy behind. This is what's going to be written about you in the history books and stuff like that. So we need to be careful as to how we live our lives. Our lives is a journey, and what you print out sometimes is what stay behind. So we need to be careful as to how we use our wealth, how we use our resources, how we use our people. We need to be more humane. Healthy, unhappy person cannot make proper decisions.
Quite true. Quite true.
If you're not healthy and if you're unhappy, what's gonna come out of you is negativity.
Your health is your wealth.
Exactly. So
That's
if you're
it.
unhealthy and you're unstable, you cannot make the right decision, you're not rational, then you're in trouble. And I find in our country a lot of that is happening. We have unhealthy people mentally, spiritually making decisions. Well, the decisions wouldn't be very impactful. They're going to be biased. They're going to be, in fact, they don't even pray for us before they make decisions. They just jump up like mad people and they do things and say things like, the devil in control.
You know, you said you talked about people that are being rich and stuff like that. And we see it every day and we hear it every day. But still, I don't think it reaches the minds and the hearts of a lot of us because a lot of us are still striving to be rich. And even though they are saying that the rich people are not happy people, is that a state of mind?
Do you see, is the order of the day. That's the mentality. That's the system and the society that we are living in. We're living under capitalism and, as far as the concern is competition in all aspects of society. Think about it. Just a sentimental thing that I heard over the last few days that is affecting me. There are these housing issues, and they would tell you that, hang on, you know something? This is the cost of it, but the value of it is X, Y, and Z, so we sell it at a reduced price. In the first case, you shouldn't even be thinking about selling it. Yes, I understand that people may have to pay something for it. And then you turn around and you give me that notion that, hang on, you know something? This is probably too good for those people who are putting it out of the reach based on, the policy that are setting out to acquire and own one. Those things are inhumane. Those things are unthoughtful. Those things are ungodly. And you shouldn't be doing those if you want to have a humane, productive sector. People produce, and I'm speaking agriculturally here now, people produce to the max when they are happy is to the max. An unhappy person cannot produce. The same person that you're denying of, some basic things like, some place to sleep and to feel comfortable and to feel happy and to feel proud. You expect them to produce for you. You expect them to develop your country. You see, a country, Claire, is like when you're a leader in a country, you should have a moral compass and you should be seeing every citizen in the country as your son or your daughter and the elderly as your grandmother and parents. That's how you're supposed to be seeing them. And if you're seeing them any different, then you're not worthy to lead. And the point I'm making, when it comes to distribution of certain things, then it should be colorless. It should be done in a fair, amicable, sensible, some things that you can be proud of later manner. Not something that can leave a stigma and saying, you know something, you think I want when I get old and I lie down on my bed and ready to dead, I'm seeing a news clip on the television, or I'm pick up a book and I'm trying to read, and they say, in 2023, X person was the one that took away $150 from the poor and needy. This is what you're going in your grave with. Some people need to think again, you know. Some people who play preachers and pastors and posing and gallivanting and those kind of things. You know, people tongue should be dropping out of the mouth when they do certain things or say certain things. You know, some people might have wouldn't be able to speak because some people don't worthy to have the tongue they have inside of the mouth. Deal with the poor and ordinary and vulnerable people. Back to where we were. We can speak again.
You know, BJ, I have 2 children. I have nothing. I'm just a humble kind of girl, just down to earth. And I always look at life that way. If I pass today, nobody cannot say that, oh, your mother was that bad person, so I wouldn't do anything for you. You understand? This is the kind of life that I live and want to continue living, so that my children or my grandchildren wouldn't have to suffer because of what I did in this life.
Well, the Bible speaks about it, Claire. Sometimes it don't affect you, but it affect the 3rd, 4th, and 5th generation. Sometimes it's not you. In your lifetime, you don't see it. But when you see some things happening to certain people, then sometimes you have to sign yourself and say, God have some mercy, you know.
Yeah.
We have to be careful how we live, how we perceive things, how we do things. We should be our brother's keeper. We should be trying to help people every single day. Every one of us should be, you know, stretching out a hand. A country that is not united cannot develop properly, you know. A man will set out to build his own city on his own wheel and own doing, wouldn't be successful, you know. You have to include certain things in it, you know.
Yeah, it's just that sometimes I wonder how people think. I think we have a call. Good morning.
Good morning to Mr. PJ. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Clifford.
Morning.
Good morning, last night I was looking at...
Clifford, go closer to your phone.
Last night I was looking at MTV and I saw the new manager of the Grenada Development Bank.
Clifford. Something your TV or your radio is on. The echo is coming really, really bad at us.
Better now?
Turn off your radio.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. I didn't know that there was a new manager at the Grenada Development Bank. But I saw him on television speaking to Mr. Yali and Mr. Campbell.
Clifford, turn it off. It's still coming.
Not by me.
But it's not by me either. But you're somewhere close to something that's echoing terribly. Oh.
Is it?
Ooh.
Is it better?
No. Clifford.
Let me put on a call back.
Yes, please. That's terrible. Yep. So, you know, I sometimes wonder how we think and how we live. And when we have a few dollars, we always think that we are better than people and we are above people and so. And these are the people, they have no one in their life. They have nothing, nobody to talk to. And when they're old, then they see what it's like, how they used to live and how they are treated by people. We got a call. Let's see if Clifford is calling back. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mona.
And how are you this morning?
I'm good, thanks.
Good morning.
Morning.
And how are you?
I am fine.
Claire, you use a word, you are a young 2 or 2 months.
Yes.
I am a young 2 or 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
You say you have 2 children.
Yes, I do.
And you don't want, if you pass from this earth today, that people might watch your children in a different way and say, you see them, the mother was not good.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't go do nothing for them. But it's the life that we live and the example we show to our children, to people. And the Bible tells you, love your neighbors as yourself. No, we don't have neighbors, you know, Claire. You know that?
Mm-hmm. Not all. Some of us still have good neighbors.
Okay. Why I say that? In days gone by, I used to watch my mother. When she come from the garden, she come out and pick peas, or she dig potato, yam. Things passing from house to house.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, you seeing that?
Some areas.
Well, I don't know.
If you go by BJ, you'll be okay. BJ passes on what he has.
And I hear BJ is a John. BJ, I am a John.
Oh, that's nice. We're probably related.
From River Sally?
Yes, from River Sally.
Ralph, you know Ralph?
Yes, I know Ralph.
Eugene John and Linus John?
Yes.
Area?
Kind of cousinish, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because ish.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Them
my
far
people.
cousin. Mm-hmm.
Aye, that is her people.
I know your people very well.
Okay.
Thanks, Mona.
Yes. So, Claire?
Yes?
Let us leave the down to earth as how we is there.
Of course.
Help people.
Mm-hmm.
Do for one another.
Mm-hmm.
That our children might reap the benefit in days come by.
Yes. Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Bye-bye. Yes, PJ.
Yes, Claire. Since we're on agriculture, those are the kind of policy that you want to see government design, not just to achieve monetary gains, but also to forge and foster unity within your society.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, agriculturally, there is a place in Jamaica named St. Elizabeth, where they do dry farming. And I visited there and worked there for a few months. And what they do, Claire, people do a style of farming that they call back-to-back farming. I farm to reach your land and you farm to reach my land.
That's great.
So there is no empty space in between. And we do similar crops and we share, the knowledge and technology and all of those. In that area, people buy water. There's a truck that comes around and you buy a truckload of water and you buy a truckload of grass because they use grass as mulching and stuff like that. And they would grow a lot of tomatoes and scythe and whatever. And the kids would have their plot of lands and they would look after it before they go to school or when they come from it in the evening and stuff. And they would get the money from selling the scythe and the thyme and the tomatoes and stuff to, to go to school. And that creates a sort of a unity among that village. And the kids also have that culture instilled within them that you can actually farm and make money. And government support those kind of activities. In that way, you forge that level of unity, whereby at the same time increasing food production and food security. Those are the kind of policy that we need to establish in our country. We used to have the maroon and stuff before, where people come on the evening and everybody comes and help and stuff like that. So those things are very, very useful. It's African culture and sentiment that we come here with, and we sort of letting people take it away from us,
Yeah. I think we have a call. Good morning.
Yes, Miss Claire.
Yes.
Okay, it's better now?
Yes.
Right, something perhaps one of the regiment.
Mm-hmm.
No, as I was saying that the new managers talks about new plans and new ideas that they have. But my thing is every time you have a new manager in a thing, they come up with new ideas, and they just after that you hear nothing. For instance, just before the NMP left office, I remember they had a new plan there where they were giving people loans, assisting people that were not appointed in their jobs, letters so that they could carry to this institute to get funding to assist in house repair and so on. I remember all that. No, I don't know what is the ministry roll out in terms of help for farmers. We're not really hearing what is the rollout. We hear the government talk about the plans they had, but we're not seeing it meshing together with the Grenada Development Bank. For instance, we know that Marketing Board has been semi-closed. We have not heard the Prime Minister said to us that it could be open sometime later in next year, or sometime next year.
Mm-hmm.
So to this, you don't know. You don't have a basic idea as to where farmers are, whether farmers should go in looking what amount of money that is there that farmers could make use of, you know. So we're not seeing that extra drive to agriculture.
Okay.
You tell farmers plant. You say you have cinnamon. They will be launching a cinnamon. They say every child will have to plant a cinnamon tree and whatnot. But what is the program for that? After you finish plant that cinnamon tree, what benefit? What you know? We had something called cocoa rehab under the Cocoa Association a few years ago with assistance from Canada, right? Cocoa rehab. They were paying you to for your cocoa holes. Every cocoa hole you dig, you were getting paid for it. You were getting fertilizer, and you had a scheme going for about 4 or 5 years with the farmers, and it had boost cocoa production, right? You know, when you were shipping your bananas to England, every week you would have known what amount of banana the boat is going to take. So the farmer could go around his land, as BJ will tell you, and he can tell you offhand how much pounds of banana roughly you will get, or how many boxes of banana you will get. So you know how to plan for your shipment of banana. Your nutmeg. Just before the last chairman, who is now the Speaker of the House, he said that they have a good price for nutmeg now. Earlier on, he said that a good price for nutmeg, but we cannot take advantage of it because we don't have the amount of nutmeg. So that's something wrong with that kind of statement. If at this stage we could get better price for nutmeg, and we can't take advantage of it because we don't have the quantity of nutmeg to ship, then something is wrong. Free plants was given to farmers to plant nutmeg, and today you can't tell the amount of lands. I wonder if the ministry could tell us the amount of new plants under cultivation, the areas and so on. So if you want to boost production, what are you using to boost that production? We have many much empty lands. Where's it drive for it? The Grand Bay Estate, which is owned by government, was said that was the first estate they want to put on weed. But what you did, you have plants there. The people, you send home half of that, more than half, almost all the staff from there. Where's the future? So you're not encouraging the farmer to get serious into any production.
Okay.
And this is the way forward. We must be able to say, okay, let us rehabilitate 20 acres of cocoa. You sell plants, you know what happened after. We have a bad dry season, so I'm expecting lots of the plants that went out in the field to die because of the heat of the sun. But where is the future?
So you're asking us questions here that we have no answer to, really and
I know
truly.
you don't have the answer, but I'm sure you do, because people like BJ, when he goes to those top meetings, he can put in those words.
BJ go to meetings.
Yeah, he's a farmer. I will stand in farmer too. So
Okay.
He must be recognized when BJ stands up in a meeting to speak. People going to listen.
Okay. So
They only listen when I stand up.
So let's let BJ answer that question, and he might be able to give us some insight. Thank you so very much. Okay, bye-bye. So BJ, when you go to meeting and you stand up, who listening?
Well, the thing is that they never invite me to no meeting, and
You hear that, Clifford?
I don't really be part of what it is going on for one reason or another. I don't know why.
Oh my.
Don't know why. Ministry doesn't invite me in anything.
Maybe you're putting out things that they're not ready to act on as yet, and
Well, I thought I was a simple, ordinary
down-to-earth
farmer.
kind of man.
Yeah, like everybody else. I'm no different. Claire, the thing with agriculture in Grenada, we lack planning. And I keep saying it every week. Without proper planning, you have issues. Without properly defined agricultural policies, you have issues. Without proper dissemination of information, you have issues. And this is what Clifford is talking about. Sometimes things are happening, but you're unaware of it. The information is given in such a way where it's not very impactful. It's too loose. The statements are too wide and wild. So people doesn't know where they stand in the scheme of things. If you're talking about marketing board, very important entity for the development of the agriculture sector, and the whole issue of guaranteed market and those things, your marketing board have to come to the forefront.
First and foremost.
Yes, and sometimes when you're speaking about marketing board, you need to speak about it in a definite way, in a defined way, whereby
make people believe what you're
not just
talking about.
What believe you
Yeah.
set timelines and all of those, and you know tell people this is the plan, this is how we're moving forward, this is what we're going to do, and you set timelines so people can say, you know, by the mid of next year we're gonna see marketing board have a transformation in regard to X, Y, and Z. But when you say sometime coming in the near future or whatever, then you're not speaking any language for me to understand. My brain doesn't really comprehend things like that. I have limited for. So when people speak like that, I don't really understand what it is they're saying. Unless you don't tell me things straight, I don't really understand, you know,
I agree
Claire.
with you. Straight
You,
up.
you know, me and my dad was walking one evening. We actually come out and purchase a goat. And I remember after a long distance, we met a standpipe, and he said, "BJ, drink some water and wash your hand." So I go in the pipe, I drink some water and I wash my hand. And him really cussed me up, you know.
But isn't that the reverse way you have to do it?
Well,
Wash
he
your
tell
hand and
me,
then drink some water?
that's what he said. He said, "BJ, you need to wash your hands and drink some water after." I said, "Daddy, I don't understand. I only was following what you tell me."
Yes,
He said, "I'm not thinking." Well, I don't know what it is you want me to think. He
You
said,
want you to think you have to wash your hands
well,
first
that's
before
what
you
you
drink
need
the
to
water.
say. He said, "But your hand dirty, so I'm telling you, wash your hands and drink the water." I drink the water and then I wash my hand because that's what he said. That's how my brain functions, Claire. If you tell me do X,
You
you
do
better
X.
tell me straight.
Yes.
That's why I like the
I'm with
military.
you there.
That's why I like the military.
Straight up.
Straight.
Yes. Let me say good morning to Hillary Grenade, Delicia Daisy Bob, Duchess, good morning, Carl Belfon, Mabel Stewart, Claudette Sylvester. I know you're heading out to work in cold Toronto. We are enjoying heat down here. And we have a Judge Cascades. Judge Cascades, good morning to you also. BJ will take a commercial break and we shall be right back.
Yes. Culture is the number one. Number one. Yes, the number one. Oh, yes. The number
Grendek Community Partnership Initiative.
I'm here to say a special thank you to Grenlec for all that they have been doing for us. Now, most recently, we are very grateful for the paving of our yard. We now have easy access to drop off, to pick up stuff, and also it serves as a recreation point. So we're very, very grateful. And again, we want to say hats off to Grenlec for always being there for us. And we hope that God would bless the company so that you can continue to support us.
Grendek, energizing our community.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it, and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price. And they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville with their factory at Chantimel in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure that customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchens, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
Step in time. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive. Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color and with inspiration. Bold expression. Bold
Color. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings, and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
It is said the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard industry and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, strength which speaks for itself, a taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Yes. Agriculture is the number one. Number one. Yes, the number one. Oh, yes. The number one. It's the number.
It's the number one, BJ. It's the number one.
It is the number one.
Yes.
Without food, everybody starve and dead.
Oh, we dead. So here's a question for you. Now, you're a big farmer according to Clifford. Every week you talk about planning. You talk about food security. We are thinking about getting agriculture back to where it should be. Now, if you are given the task, say the government hire you to go around the country and talk to farmers about agriculture and what they can do to sustain it or to make it what it ought to be, would you take up the challenge? It would, because I know you're really, really busy on your farm as is, but would you take up the challenge?
You wouldn't really get anywhere with something like that. The impact that you would have would be limited to go around the country and really meeting farmers and advising them as what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. You need a more collective, systematic approach in dealing with issues like that. Agricultural development is a science, whole discipline by itself. Claire, if you want to develop things on a national basis, you need to look at it in a scientific way. For example, they have 200 people now employed in recent days, going around the country and do a survey on agriculture, farmers survey.
Okay.
If you have the district offices, agriculture offices, the extension offices, you have St. Patrick's, you have St. Andrews, you have St. Ministry in St. George's, you have wherever in, different parishes. How comes you have to go collect those data still and pay people exorbitant fee now to go on doing the same thing that you should be having in your district offices? How comes we have all the farmers in Grenada registered with ID cards and you don't have those information about, on them? Where is our database? It's time we have to deal with agriculture based on the time that we are living in. We should be able to reach out to each and every farmer. I'm talking about formidable farmer in our country from a central place. So I wouldn't have to go wrong if I would take up something like that. I would have a database and my farmers would be reachable. And that is what we're missing. Planning. We lacking monitoring, lacking control. We're lacking systems and we're lacking patterns. If you don't have those, how are you going to do things in a collective, organized, disciplined way? You can't. And that's the point I'm making. We're treating agriculture as a haywire activity. Every man doing his own thing and you can do what you want. No. Government ought to have the policy set out and in place whereby whatever information that is disseminated and whatever activities that you want to deal with from a national standpoint have to be coming from those kind of derived from those policies.
Okay.
When government shy itself off of the responsibility, then what you get is disorganization.
And disarray.
And that's the problem. For example, marketing board should be one.
Column coming to you.
One formidable entity, one main pillar of our economy that you should be protecting it. You should be treating it like a baby and ensuring that it really grow into a giant. But the way we're handling it with, the information that's centered around it now, the uncertainty, where are you going with that? You have to instill something they call confidence in whoever working with you or whoever producing for you, Without that, you're having serious problems.
So, okay, we heard that marketing board was going to come back as have revamped something. What is taking place with it? Is it still in operation? I know there's one that is in St. George. Do we have any more? And is it anything up and coming? Because if you're going to do agriculture to sustain people with food supplies, they need to open something.
Claire, you are one of the main entity with regard to the dissemination of information. Talking about Real FM, you shouldn't be asking me that kind of question.
Well, if you don't have information, you're the farmer.
That's the point I'm making. You should be the one that disseminating those information from the ministry. We should have that kind of link, or you should be able to go up on the website and see exactly what is happening in relation to those kind of things. Those are the time that we are living in now. We're functioning as though we're living still in 1961. And we way past them time already. The world not going back there again. And we can't be functioning. Why do you think we see struggling so much to get the agriculture sector going? It's because we don't know where we're going. Any road taking us there. We don't have no serious plan as to how we deal with our agriculture sector.
We have a call. I think they hang up and call back. Good morning.
Yes, yes. I think BJ answered the question thoroughly right. Because if you don't plan from on top, and BJ goes wrong and speak to farmers, it will be fruitless.
Okay.
You have to start to plan from on top. For instance, a fella coming in here with the Citizen by Investment should be able to look up in the Ministry of Agriculture and say, okay, I'm looking for 50 acres of land. What are the crops can I put down? Could be a benefit to me. And the ministry should have that and a charter there, able to tell the person where they can find that kind of land, the amount of land they can find, the production, that what the production yield will be within certain years, and the crop. That is the way forward. If you can't do that, if you can't explain to the people, they say that the government make millions of dollars out of passport selling, some of these people should be allowed to make choice of areas that they can develop agricultural wise. Then BJ will have a job.
BJ has a job.
Huh?
BJ has a job.
Then he will have a job to influence people.
Mm.
But if you go wrong, if he goes wrong now and sticking to the farmers, it will be fruitless because you don't know what the plans are. As you're just asking about marketing board, we should know what are marketing board plans. We should know where they're going. All the prime minister tell us is that they're going to open sometime next year. No, you can't take that and build on that. You have to know what plans that marketing board is going to accompany, with what acres of land they will be looking at, what amount of farmers they will be looking at, and all these ways. So then when you speak to a farmer, you give the farmer something that he can chew on. Something he could say, okay, why let me join in with that man. There are people that came here. There's a gentleman that came here and have a cocoa factory now. Who came? He came in Douglaston looking for land. Where you call Crayfish Bay now in Non-Parallel there, where that farm is there. Right? He set up there now and there's a small cocoa factory there. But he wanted land. He came in Douglaston looking for land. He was looking for at least 15 acres of land. I don't know how much he have now. But I'm saying these are the way forward projection. And that is what we're not seeing. Do you know in St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and Dominica, they are way gone from us now, you know. They're making progress. Every week you could hear it. Even Trinidad gone back into serious farming. So there is a way forward for it. But the potential have to come from the people above. You can't go and plant and you don't know if a boat will come in Grenada. We have to make sure that there is room for a boat to come in, the quantity that the boat could take, and all these things.
Okay. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, so no, you have a job if you know.
Why not? Why they don't make me the Minister of Agriculture? Might be better.
Have you ever asked? Have you applied?
I don't really, it's not a job you ever applied for.
Oh.
It's a job that somebody would call you and say, your brethren XYZ, or will you run election? And somebody said, you know something, this person has the potential. Unfortunately, that's why they give those jobs. That's why we have those kind of people around the show, because they don't really know what they're about.
But
That's not
putting all joke aside, you are a serious farmer. Everybody knows BJ the farmer. And you come here every Thursday like clockwork and talks about the planning that we need to have to get agriculture on foot or to go somewhere. Clifford always saying from year to year, regardless of which government that come into power, agriculture is on the forefront but still at the back burner. How can we get it to move forward? Because we are going to be in a food crisis sooner than later. And the countries that Clifford is saying, like Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and that's doing their stuff, they will have to supply their own people when the crisis hits. So they wouldn't be able to give us anything. So we need to really get up on our backsides and do what we have to do to get things going. I just plant my little thing in my backyard, okay? I don't know much about things. I'm depending on people like you to tell me what it is that we need to do.
Before I answer your question, Claire, I don't know if you ever think about this intricately. When your food leaves your country and go abroad, what you are actually exporting is your natural resources. You're exporting your nutrients because that's what the plant takes up to get it mature and to produce fruits and stuff like that. You think about, for example,
chocolate,
cane co. They would grow 200, 300, 400 acres of cane, and they would crush those cane, manufacture them, and sell it abroad. Our nutrients that goes abroad. And if we don't careful, we will deplete our soil. And no disrespect, no hard feelings, because some people invest their money and they need returns on their money. But those profits aren't staying back in your country.
Oh no, it's gone.
So this is the modern way that people and developed country use to rip off your country.
We call it rape and pillage.
Yes, they deplete it of its natural state, and they leave you behind with some lands that cannot produce anything, and they would become really rich and wealthy and offer you natural resources.
Caller, we are coming.
Some people do say, something, we don't have no natural resource here, and we don't have this. If you have really fertile soil, isn't that a natural resource? Isn't that some people would have crying for all over the world, and you have it right here?
Well, BJ, look at it. We export our cocoa and they sell us chocolate, and we devour the chocolate from our own cocoa that we do nothing
They sell
about.
us caramel for chocolate, not even real chocolate, you see.
We have a call. Let's see. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
You talk agriculture every week, but the thing is, there is a Ministry of Agriculture with advisors advising what to whom.
Are you asking us or are you telling us?
Well, it comes both ways,
Okay.
Because I sit and I listen, and I cannot understand for the life of me why you need so much advisors and then no result. You're laughing. You see, when I speak, at least I laugh when I get the opportunity. When I go drink my liquor, I get the opportunity to laugh. When it's serious business, you do serious things.
Are you telling me that I laughed? That was a sarcastic one. That wasn't a joyful laugh. So go ahead.
Okay. Yes, man. I don't understand for the life of me. Why is it? You have an advisor for poultry, an advisor for what? Marble, for seedlings and all that kind of. And at the end of the day, they cannot tell you, well, you're going to get 10,000 plants, or they have 10,000 plants. And now they want to go to minimum wage. Minimum wage for what? How much hours they're going to be doing? Me, I don't have minimum wage, and I wouldn't want minimum wage. I work my hours, I stop, I drink the liquor, I sleep, I do whatever I have to do when the time is right. So, farmers are there, try their best and see if they could make something out of it. Because advisors, I would let my brother come and advise me, and me and him in same yard. No, we go see them discuss. You can advise me. Discuss.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you were talking about advisors, and the caller just said about advisors. We have 200 people going around the country trying to figure out what's going on in agriculture. Now, I always think about this. We have a hospital in Toronto called Sick Kids Hospital. And sometimes they have telethon for the kids, for doctors, and so to help the kids. And they send people around and knock your door to see if you can donate and stuff like that. And one time, one young lady came and I asked her, says, how much money from what I'm giving you is going to the Sick Kids Hospital? 10 cents from every dollar. I said, are you getting paid? She said, yes, she's getting paid for administration. So my question to her was, if you're doing it for the health of the children at the hospital, why aren't you volunteering your time? And this is the same thing with the advisors that are going around in agriculture right now. They're being paid to go and find out about agriculture. As the man said, we have an agriculture ministry that can disseminate information on using the medium that we have here every Thursday to talk about what is needed. Where are we going wrong, BJ?
The system. We will need to change the system, Claire. It's in a lot of cases we look at personality, we look at individuals, and we don't look at the system, we don't look at the thing in its entirety, we don't look at the pattern, we don't look at what we functioning with. And that's what we need to change. You have minister, you have public servants, you have in between the permanent secretary, and you have extension officers, and you have contract workers and all of those. You have machinery pool coming up for those things. We have the pattern, we have the management structure there. What we don't have is the working of the structures, the reorganizing of it, the staffing of it, the people who are motivated to run and operate, the people who are capable to handle those things. If when you're employing people, you employ them based on political merit and friendship, what do you really expect? You expect the entity to be working properly? Well, they're only working properly because you're collecting tax every month to pay them. If you had to produce to generate revenue to pay those people, you're not doing that. But it's a public entity, and that's how people see it. What? 90% of the people who leave school look a government job, and they probably have a reason.
Of course.
That they can sleep for 30 years and get pension at the end of it all, and they don't have to turn up to work, and they have a secured salary every month, and the banks prefer to give them loans because they are working with the government, they are public servants and all of those. So clear. It's the system, the mindset, the education. Those things have to change. We have to tailor our education to suit our country and to suit the way we want the country to develop and those things. If you have people who don't care, how you expect them to work and build and develop properly? When you train children and you only teach them to pass exams and not to seriously work for life's sake, then what you're creating? When you have people and you don't teach them how to, be patriotic, what it is that you're really expecting, you're looking for serious trouble. You won't be able to control them.
We are in
And
trouble.
the leaders that you're going to be producing, you won't be able to contain them. You see what happens? You realize that it's very beastly, and it's very cold, and it's very inhumane, and it's very sickening, and it's very distrustful, and it's very distasteful for a young man to sit back with a group of people who supposed to be intellectuals, would sit back and take a decision. You know something? The old, poor, vulnerable in our country will take $150 off of them. And they cannot rethink and say, you know something, this come from the pit of hell. We need to drop that. You're continuing with it. And it tells me that you have a sick mind. We are creating people in our country with sick minds, and we don't really know it. We only just become aware when they manifest it before our very eyes. And I'm saying that sometimes if you listen to people speak, you could know the sick long before you actually do the stuff.
I was having a discussion with one man the last time, and he says, what we are creating in our country to our young people, we may start to put bars on our cars, on our car windows, so that they would not be able to break it in and steal it. Because right now, people are living in sort of fear, because so many people are out there without no jobs, they have nothing to do, nowhere to turn, and this is the reality of what we are facing. I didn't say it. That's what
You
the man
can't
told me.
plant corn on a piece you want to reap. It doesn't work that way. If you don't set up things right from a governmental standpoint and have good governance in your country, then the rest of it will be just chaos. It'll be chaotic. In the absence of good governance, what you have is chaos. You have problems. If you don't define your class structure in such a way, that you narrow it. Yes, you're gonna have rich people and you're gonna have poor people. That's the way the world is from God know when that is like that. But if you don't mitigate against, the suffering of the poor people and look after them in a way that, that is beneficial to yourself and to your country and to everyone else, then you have issues, then you have problems. Claire, every human being is a human being, yes.
Okay.
So you don't breathe down on the poor neck like that and do as though they don't really have to exist and you don't care too much about them and they're in a different class and you start looking down on people. We all breathe the same oxygen. You understand? At the end of the day, we all, have to be carried and give a slow march in the cemetery.
Yes, down the same hole.
So
we're going
we need
at
to be careful
6
as to
feet.
how we deal with people,
Listen, I always take example of the Netherlands and how the people live there. They have the wind turbines, that's what they live by. But each and every one of the people in Netherlands, they are taken care of. The government take care of the people because what? The people worked. The agriculture system is bar none. So they don't have to go through all of them, like you say, nobody 150. They pay all their fees, all their social things. They are being looked after.
Don't know if you heard about the kibbutz and stuff in Israel, where you have like villages and little communities where they centralize everything. They put a pool in the morning, one pool.
Mm-hmm.
They have free education for the children. They have free transportation. They have free medical health, and they share the resources as to what it is that they have. And they more or less, live in such a way that they don't leave anyone behind.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, they ensure that everybody in the village gets something to eat at least,
That's
if
because they planned and they execute.
So if it's one crackers, them break
Everybody
it and
gets
share
in peace,
it, you understand what I'm saying?
And that is what we need.
This is what life is all about, Claire.
This is what we need. I hate to say it, every Thursday it's like a broken record. So I have to give you maybe a CD now, and maybe we could get a flash drive. You make change.
Slavery would have, as we know it, would have take 300-400 years before we shake out the bondage and whatever. I'm only on the radio for the last 10-15 years, so this is
that is 15 years too much. That
somebody will take it up and
the mantle.
The world is not like that, Claire. The world is in constant movement, development, and change, and it's independent of mankind. And sometimes in our time, it may take a generation to shake up everybody's line of thought for us to start doing things properly.
Well, the generation is here, but it's for the wrong thing. Do you know that the generation now they're bringing down governments like no tomorrow because they're that generation?
Well, I'll give them social media and the internet.
Yes. It is 9:00 inside the studio of Real FM and in the Eastern Caribbean. BJ, thank you so much for coming.
Good morning to the listening public again. Have a great day.
All right.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
Welcome to the latest news update as produced by the Northern News Network. I'll have the details for you when I return.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&N Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices. Or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&N Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Welcome back. Locally, High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and the Court of St. James, Rasher Crony, officially presented letters of introduction to the Vice Marshal of the Diplomatic Corps from Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell, addressed to UK Prime Minister Honorable Rishi Sunak on Tuesday, 26th September at Lancaster House, London. High Commissioner Crony used the opportunity to discuss Grenada's transformational agenda and key developmental priorities with Vice Marshal Victoria